All right, let's start with the Kid Kash side of this, which is, so Jeff Jarrett is trying to take over TNA. Along with his pal Don Callis, who is his management consultant, Jarrett wants complete control, and he wants people to declare their loyalty to him.
This is a weird bit, because I don't feel like there's nothing that comes of it. Like, there's literally no reason for any of this. Because even in the circumstances where, like, I declare my loyalty, it's like, half of these contracts are signed in people's blood, okay? These can't be upheld by any court of law.
Yeah, the vast majority are signed under duress. I do not think they would be upheld. I do not think they are legally viable contracts.
Also, he tries to get the same person to sign like 3 times.
Well, to be fair, that's part of the angle in that he does lose his contracts at one stage and has to get people to re-sign them.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So Jarrett wants people to sign these loyalty oaths, these loyalty pledges, so he assigns that task to Kid Kash. He wants Kid Kash to go around the entire TNA locker room and get them to sign loyalty oaths to Jeff Jarrett.
And we see it throughout. This is like one of the famous TNA show-long angles.
Yeah, and month-long angles, frankly.
Yes, consistently.
I did enjoy that Jarrett was like, and if you have any trouble, you got Abyss to back you up. And Kid Kash was like, Abyss?
He's like, yeah, Abyss. You got a problem with Abyss?
I like the way Jarrett doesn't even realize it's like, yes, he does have a problem with Abyss. It played out quite publicly.
Yeah, and brutally.
Kid Kash goes out through the show, gets people to sign. He got Sarah the Ticket Taker to sign during a 6-man tag team match. Then he comes out and he tries to bully Tiny the Bellkeeper into signing.
Poor Tiny. I love how, like, offended Mike Tenay and Don Callis. They're like, oh, not Tiny.
He tried to bully Tiny into signing, but he was cut off by Black Shirt Security's Chris Vaughn.
This is a big Chris Vaughn segment, too.
Yeah, this entire month is kind of like the first kind of push of Chris Vaughn. So they go back and forth because Cash tries to bully poor Tiny to signing. And Vaughn stops him and they start wrestling a match because Rudy Charles is like, yeah, fuck it, let's just do a match.
Yeah, because no one likes Kid Kash.
That's true. It is the consistent theme through this month that nobody likes Kid Kash. Not even the people he's teaming with like Kid Kash.
They tolerate him.
They do. They put up with Kid Kash. So we have a match between Kid Kash and Chris Vaughn. They have a better match the next week, but this is pretty fine. It's mostly just so Vaughn can get a little win over Kid Kash.
I was watching this and it was further like me going, how do they fuck up this Chris Vaughn guy? Like the crowd's into this. They want this to be like the homegrown guy. I don't understand what happens.
I did quite enjoy Kid Kash referring to Chris Vaughn, who is taller than him, as Little Man.
Yeah.
It's like, listen here, little man, you should sign the contract. But yeah, they have a better match. I think the next match they have is, I think, actually a good match as opposed to this, which is more the storytelling thing that I quite enjoyed because Chris Vaughn won via interference. Rudy Charles put his hands over his eyes as Don Harris ran out to interfere.
Yeah, it was really good stuff.
He didn't even do I am suddenly distracted. He literally rose his hands over his eyes.
And then peeked over multiple times to see it happening.
Yeah, because he wants the satisfaction of Don Harris beating up Kid Kash, but he does not want to be accountable for it. So Chris Vaughn beat Kid Kash.
Yeah, and it felt like, woo, Chris Vaughn, let's see what they do with it.
And what they did with it was another match the next week.
The TNA special.
So Kash continues trying to get people to sign. Eventually comes out once again trying to bully Tiny into signing.
Yeah. Which
is a reoccurring theme here. But Vaughn cuts him off again, and they have an actual proper real match. And this is where you saw the Vaughn fire, and he fired up. They had a proper match this time.
Yeah, they did some cool stuff here. And of course, a ton of giant moves here. You obviously gift the top rope body slam, which was crazy looking,
insane.
But my favorite part of this whole thing was we got this is the most I'm gonna sign your loyalty pledge in blood that we saw, and it was great.
Because Chris Vaughn was actually busted open during the match, and I was like, this is a weird match for Chris Vaughn to be busted open in. But then when he tried to sign the pledge in blood, I was like, that's why he was busted open during the match.
Big Tiny run in.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, that top rope body slam, because Ethan Page does a version of that, but he doesn't go down with the wrestler. He body slams him from the top down to the mat.
Which is probably smart, to be fair, because that seems like a really easy way to twist an ankle or something.
Yeah, it seems like a much safer way to do it. But Kid Kash, stood up top, body slammed Chris Vaughn, and went down with him, like a full proper body slam from the top rope to the mat. It looked sick, and then he hit him with the moneymaker and pinned him immediately after.
It was a real awkward looking moneymaker too.
Just killing guys. He's just killing guys left, right, and center.
Yeah, Kid Kash kind of rocks. I'm so glad that he's stuck around way longer than I thought he was going to.
And like honestly, 2004 might be his best year because he doesn't go into some stuff with AJ. So like you have that to look forward to in 2004. And he's just a good mid-card heel. He's never a guy like I would not for a second look at this match and be like, or at Kid Kash in general, be like he should be world champion in this company because he probably shouldn't be. But as a dude who's mid-card heel, gets heat, like this is basically the Jon Moxley against Wheeler Yuta of TNA, if you think about it. It actually kind of is, in terms of the guy bleeding, underdog. I guess Kid Kash is more of a heel than Jon Moxley.
I think Kid Kash is slightly more of a heel than Jon Moxley.
Yeah, he's just the mid-card super heel. That's who Kid Kash is, and he fulfills this role so well.
He's a good mix of worker and character guy, so yeah, and he's diverse. You can put him in whatever, really.
So we had a parade of run-ins afterward. Tiny stopped Kid Kash. Well, actually, no. Kid Kash did sign the contract in blood, but then Tiny made the save. Then Cash turned it around. Then Dot Harris made the save. Then the red shirts came out. And then AMW ultimately made the save to end the segment.
What is this, an AEW Dynamite?
It's just run-ins and saves and run-ins and saves. Again, AEW is just ROH, WCW, and TNA put together. So this is the run-ins and saves is the TNA influence. There's a bunch more. Kid Kash tries to get people to sign. I don't think there's much in the January 21st show. Other than he's trying to get Siaki as the main guy he's trying to sign. They go to a bathroom where Siaki's taking a dump.
Yeah, this is like the second time he goes for Siaki. The first time he goes and Trinity's like, I think you should sign.
Yeah, so Trinity is very pro signing and aligning with Jeff Jarrett, even though she does, in the fairness, in the interests of continuity in the NWA-TNA, still hate Kid Kash.
Yeah, like a lot. Does she sign the first time that he tries?
No, she signs in the bathroom one.
Yes, okay. And then and then Siaki's like, what's happening out there?
Yeah, he's like, he signed the contract. Siaki's like, hell no. But someone has told me not to. So someone is in Siaki's ear, apparently. Who it is, we're left to wonder.
I'm hoping it's Desire.
So and then he leaves, and Kid Kash is like, hey, Trinity, you want to sign? Trinity's like, yeah, do you have a pen? And the pen is in the bathroom stall. And Trinity's grossed out, and she signs and leaves.
And then like Kash just like walks into the bathroom afterwards.
Then we cut to a pre-tape immediately after that, which is basically the same thing, where it's just like, hey, Siaki signed. No. Trinity, I've signed. And then leaves again.
Yeah.
So then last show of the month, they do it again. Trinity's being interviewed by Hudson. Trinity is the one who will be handcuffed to Siaki in the main event. We'll talk about that in a second when we get to the actual Callis and Watt stuff. So Trinity's like, I've signed, but Siaki hasn't. Siaki looks to confront her, but Kash jumps from behind, handcuffs him to a locker, I guess. I think it's a locker. And leaves him there for dead. As Trinity turns down yet another Kid Kash advance.
I like that Kid Kash is like a simp for her now. Like, he was a dude who was kicking the shit out of her for like 3 months, and now he's like, oh, please notice me, Trinity.
Yeah, literally every one of these segments ends with Kid Kash being like, hey, you and me, and Trinity's like, fuck no.
He's like, never.
I do enjoy that. Like, again, Kid Kash being like a horrible, abusive man, not very interesting, but him being, again, a mid-card comedy goof, pretty good.
Okay, I think we can, like, firmly, this is TNA's wheelhouse, right? Mid-card comedy goof, and just comedy goof in general, like, that's what they do best. Even at this point, because I think that's something that becomes more prevalent later, and that's, like, but this is, you've seen it from here, like, all the best stuff that TNA does is their comedy goof stuff.